That started around 1986. I had no idea about DJing, didn't know how to use DJ equipment, couldn't mix, didn't even know what mixing was really. But I started going to the Sound Factory every week, which is where Junior Vasquez was the resident DJ. Hearing him at the Sound Factory had such a profound effect on my DJing style, on how to play a party, to how to control a room.
Welcome to another edition of Q Drops, my DJ story. I'm Cabbage, and today we're joined by Bill Brewster, DJ, writer and music historian. From his early days in New York's underground scene to a 5-year residency at London's iconic club Fabric, he's become known for his encyclopedic knowledge of all things dance and club culture related. He's the co-author with Frank Broughton of the cult classic Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, The History of the Disc Jockey, with whom he also co-founded DJhistory.com. They also ran club night Low Life for over 30 years, which they started in Harlem before bringing to London. He curated the After Dark series for Late Night Tales and brings an unmatched perspective on the evolution of dance music and the DJs who shaped it. And we're very excited to have him with us today. Bill, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi there.
Thanks for coming in. We're really looking forward to hearing your stories and the tracks that you've picked. So we'll go to the first one, which is, what's one of the first records you bought when you first started DJing?
There were sort of two periods to my to my DJ career. The first period is before I bought decks and before house music existed, and that was when I had a really good record collection, and people used to ask me to come and play parties in their house and stuff like that. So that started around 1986. I had no idea about DJing, didn't know how to use DJ equipment, couldn't mix, didn't even know what mixing was really, and used to play a mixture of stuff, like everything from the Smiths to D-Train. And then the second part was when I bought a set of decks, which was in summer 1990, and then started buying even more records than I'd already bought. I'd say I had a half decent collection before I started DJ, probably like 3,500 records maybe.
Wow.
Of different, all kinds of different things. You know, I'd originally moved down to London to work as a chef, and I was into punk rock then. That was in 1977, so I had like a big collection of punk rock, big collection of post-punk, but then I started getting more into hip-hop and dance music in the 1980s. So the name of this record is YBU Soul Magic. It came out in 1991 on a label called Splish Splosh, which was Mark Moore's label. It was originally made by a guy in Denmark, I think, and it's like got a little sample of James Brown in it, and it goes on and on and on and on. But the repetitive nature of it is what makes it amazing. And it used to be like a bit of an end of night classic at parties that I was going to, because it's very slow. You wouldn't play at peak hour. I think it's only about 85 BPM or something like that. But it's one that's really stuck in my mind over the years as just being a really standout record that kind of swam against the tide, the house music tide of the time, because almost everything coming out in 1991 seemed to be like 120 to 124 BPM, and this was much, much slower, and not even at street soul tempo. So, yeah, there's something really special about this record.
Great, let's hear a bit of that.
Yeah.
What did you say it sampled?
It samples a James Brown record. The little guitar lick
Right.
is from a James Brown record. Can't remember which one offhand.
But it's great because it keeps you hanging for so long, and then it sort of gives you that little bit more.
Yeah, the editor, the very cleverly edited version there makes it feel like things happen quite quickly. But if you listen to the original, it just, there's no drums for about the first 2.5 minutes. So you just very much kept on tenterhooks for quite a long time.
So, and just going back to what you said, so you bought decks in 1990. So you were playing for 4 years at parties, and then did you suddenly go, right, I want to do this?
Basically, I wasn't really that into house music. I was much more into hip hop. And in the summer of 1989, I got dumped by my girlfriend, and an ex-girlfriend of mine also got dumped by her boyfriend at the same time. We started hanging out together again as friends. And she said, I know about this really amazing gay club. Do you want to come along to it? So I was like, yeah, okay. And we went to this gay club, which was called Troll. After about an hour, she said, someone's selling ecstasy. Do you want to try it? Would you like to try ecstasy? So I was like, okay, whatever. So I tried ecstasy and had one of the most incredible nights of my life on this new drug that I'd never heard of or hardly heard of, dancing to this new style of music that I hated before.
Yeah, funny that.
I'd been out to the Fridge once in about 1987 and heard Mark Moore playing house all night, and I was like, what is this? But it was like unlocking a key, and suddenly I was like, okay, I get it. And then I went to that club every Saturday until it closed in 1991.
That's actually not too dissimilar a story to mine. Mine was the first time I didn't like house music. I was much more into jazz and soul, and a friend took me to Heaven on a Friday night, and I had my first pill there. And again, I was like, what is this? This music and this whole vibe, everything was just amazing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, what was incredible about that whole period was everything felt new. Everything that you experienced felt like you'd never come across it before.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have a few house records, but without really understanding what house music was. But to hear a whole night of it on ecstasy, that was kind of the key to it, really.
So did you then decide, right, actually, I'd like to put my hand in and have a go at mixing and DJing this music? Is that why you bought the decks?
Yeah. I mean, prior to that, I had no interest in DJing. Even though I think growing up, I'd always had the DJ gene inside me, because I used to feverishly make tapes as a 13, 14, 15-year-old. I definitely had that music evangelism inside of me, and I'd had that for the whole of my life, really. And also, I was a massive record collector, and I think the record collecting aspect of DJing is really what got me. It was almost like legitimizing my strange record collecting habit. Suddenly there was a reason to have records beyond the fact that I like playing them in my house.
Yeah.
And it's almost a self-justification for what I was doing.
So you said at that point you had 3,500 vinyls. How many do you have now?
Well, my collection got up to about 14,000. And then I got divorced about 6 years ago and decided to sell my collection.
Right.
I sold it en masse. So now I've got about 300 records.
Right.
I kept a handful, but not that many.
And did you digitize any of them?
I'd been digitizing them for several years. I sort of had a feeling in the back of my mind that I wasn't going to hold on to my collection for the rest of my life. It was starting to kind of grind me down a little bit, the amount of space that everything that I collected took. And I think after splitting up from my ex-wife, I felt like I needed a new start, and that new start was sort of to declutter my life a little bit.
And have you regretted getting rid of any of them? Or?
No, I haven't. I mean, strangely, it actually cured me of the absolute mania for buying records. The first time I went to New York was in 1991, and I bought so many records on that trip that I had to ship them via sea, because it was just going to cost me too much to post them. There's like 250 boxes, like 100 records I bought. when I moved back to the UK from living in New York in the 90s, I'd brought out a box of 55 with me, and then I moved back with a collection of 2,500 that I'd accumulated there, which had to go in a container in a ship, and it took like 12 weeks to arrive. That was more worrying.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's move to the next track, which is one that reminds you of your first DJ gig.
Okay, so I did an after-hours gig warming up for Roy the Roach in 1990 or 91. I can't remember which, but the weather was quite warm. I think it was summer, and it was the first time I'd really played on a big sound system, and the shock of hearing your music on a big sound system compared to what it sounds like at home is a bit like learning to drive in a Mini and then getting in a lorry and thinking that you know how to drive it. The reason I remember this track is because A, I played it, but B, while I was queuing it up, I had the volume slider open.
Right.
So while the previous record was playing, I was faffing around queuing it with the volume on. And one of my friends came running off the dance floor, was like, Bill, you've got the volume on. And that was my first gig.
Brilliant. What's the track?
It's called Real Love by Jesse's Gang.
Shadow in the trance. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Real love. Lasting up forever with a dance. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Real love. Things are always different yet the same. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Real love. Racing through the night, I call your name. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Real love. Kiss me, baby, love me, baby, hold me tight. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right. Touch me, baby, show me, baby, how you feel. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is real. I say, kiss me, baby, love me, baby, hold me tight. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right.
Okay, so the guy that wrote that is a guy called Jesse Saunders, who was well known in Chicago. Had a residency at one of the big straight clubs in Chicago, and he really I can't for the life of me think of the name of the first record that he did, but he made a record called I Like to Do It in Fast Cars before that. And then what was interesting about this record that he made, according to Marshall Jefferson, was that it was so crap that everyone in Chicago thought, well, I could do better than that. and therefore it inspired it inspired a lot of young kids to get electronic, to get synthesizers and to get drum machines and stuff like that. So Marshall Jefferson always says, right, Jesse's the one that you need to credit.
I love that.
Because at the other end of it was Your Love by Frankie Knuckles and
right.
And that seemed so good they couldn't believe that it was made by someone from Chicago.
Right. That's when I was looking at the tracks. This has also got a sample from "Relax" in it by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
I didn't realise that actually. I've never noticed that.
So then the next track is what's one that reminds you of a memorable gig of yours?
Okay, so we, after Frank and I moved back from New York, we restarted our party that we'd started in New York, which is Low Life.
Yeah.
In March '97, we did our first party, which was in a loft in Shoreditch, and we started doing these kind of semi-regular word of mouth only parties. And initially, the places we were doing them were like 150, 200 capacity. And then it started getting really busy and selling out quickly and people queuing at the door and all that. So we moved to a rehearsal studio called Fortress Studios, which was at the back of Old Street, sort of just off City Road. And they had a basement that was amazing. It held like about 400 to 500 people, and then 2 floors up they had another little room as well with a bar in it. So we kind of commandeered these 2 spaces and started throwing parties in there, and they just went. It it just started getting really crazy. Like, however big a venue we made, we would fill it, and we were
Amazing.
like, what we going to do? Because we really wouldn't. We were never into like, let's move to a stadium or whatever. We just wanted to keep them small, intimate, and no more than 500-600 capacity,
Right.
because that's just what we like doing, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the really, really special nights at Lowlife at this rehearsal studio, I remember playing this record by Octave One. This record was a near hit. It might even have got in the charts, actually. They got Anne Saunderson, who was the wife of Kevin Saunderson, to put a vocal on it. And I
Right.
think it actually crossed over in a few countries. But I just really preferred this version, which was one that they'd done, I think, with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra doing the strings on it.
I love it. And the orchestra from Detroit, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Best place.
Yeah.
And it's called...
It's by a group called Octave One, and the track is called Blackwater.
Great, let's hear some of that. What was the reaction to it?
Oh, it was amazing. I don't know if you ever get this when you're DJing, but occasionally when you do a set and it goes so well that it feels like someone was telling you which record to put on next. Like,
I haven't had that yet.
You just knew instinctively what the next record had to be, and it was one of those nights. I've had about 5 of them in my life where at the end of it, I couldn't even remember half the records I played,
Amazing.
because it felt like I wasn't making a decision. It was
Yeah.
the crowd somehow making a decision for me. And this was one of the kind of centerpiece records of that evening.
And so you were fully in the moment.
Yeah, and also at that stage when we were running those parties, I played from 10 at night till 6 in the morning. So I played for 8 hours
God.
every one of those parties.
Right.
So,
Wow.
So I like to really have chance to control the environment,
Sure.
to shape the environment. And yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, brilliant. And so the next one is...
The next one is, I suppose, an unlikely one. This is 101 by Sheena Easton. Now, obviously, most people here regard Sheena Easton as sort of a bit of a competition winner, I think, don't they? Anyway, in America, that she didn't have any of that baggage, and she had a bit of a thing with Prince at one stage. Prince worked with her and wrote songs for her. This is one of the songs that Prince wrote for her, and this is the David Morales Deaf House mix of that particular track. Now, what I love about this track is it came out in 1989. It did absolutely nothing in the UK. I'd never heard of it when I moved to New York at the beginning of 1994. I'd never heard of it, but I started going to the Sound Factory every week, which is where Junior Vasquez was the resident DJ, and he used to play it a lot, and that's where I first heard it. And hearing him at the Sound Factory had such a profound effect on my DJing style, on how to play a party, to how to control a room. Just his programming was excellent. His taste was excellent. And this was one of the records that he would play quite regularly, even though it was even then it was 4 or 5 years old. So kind of a semi-mini classic, I suppose. He was playing it regularly there as well. And it just had such an impact on me the first time I heard it. and fell in love with it, and then went hunting for it in bargain bins in New York.
How many copies of it do you own? Or did you own?
Well,
Just the one?
I own 2 copies of this because it's got a very short intro. So I used to play the instrumental bit first of one 12-inch and then mix in the main vocal mix into the instrumental bit. This is
Brilliant.
the days before edits, basically. It's just an absolutely fantastic record. It's really emotive, and to me, it's the first of David Morales' really great remixes.
Excellent. Let's hear a section of this. What I was surprised about that was her vocal, because it's brilliant.
If you didn't know it was Sheena Easton,
no, I would never have
you'd
guessed.
never have guessed that. It's a really great vocal performance, and an incredible record.
Okay, excellent. So now, what's a track that reminds you of a gig that didn't go as planned?
Well, I was struggling for this one because I mean, I'm not saying I've never had a gig that didn't go as planned, because it's quite a lot, but I thought I went to see Harvey play at Fabric, DJ Harvey play at Fabric, not long after he came back to England for the first gigs. He'd been away living in the States for a long time. What I really love about Harvey is he's really good at changing the mood of a night by changing the style of the track, and he played this record, which I'd never heard of at the time, as a kind of mood changer. It felt like he'd gone so far down one passage and he'd reached the end of it and was now figuring out where he needed to go next. And he played this track. It just completely changed the complexion of the night, and suddenly we were all off in a different direction. And I just thought it was such an inspired bit of DJing. And I remember all the nerds that were out. All of my DJ mates were all like, "What is this?" And nobody knew.
Right. And what's it called?
It's it's by Moses, and it's called We Just, and this is the new mix. It's definitely got a bit of Stock Aitken and Waterman about it, hasn't it?
It's changing the direction of the dance floor, and all it does is we just.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
what?
It's very basic, is what you're saying. And that's one of the joys and mysteries of really good electronic dance music, is just how little a great track needs when it's arranged in the proper way, in a clever way.
So the next one is a track that reminds you of a favourite DJ you've seen live.
Okay, so while I was in New York, a guy called Francois Kevorkian, who'd been a legend of the industry in the late 70s and early 80s, and then he opened his own studio, Axis, and stopped DJing. He retired from DJing in like about 86, I think, or 87. Anyway, I moved back just as Francois was coming out of retirement. He started playing in a little room downstairs at the Sound Factory Bar on a Wednesday. There used to be this little room called the Funk Hut. And I think this night that I went to, which was in 95 or 96, was a bit of a test run for Body and Soul.
Right.
And on this night, it was him and Magic Juan Atkins from Detroit that played all night. Just an amazing night for me to see like a really great DJ make all of these different strands of music work on the same dance floor. But anyway, Baby I'm Scared of You was from the same album.
By Womack and Womack.
Yeah, and I never thought about it as being a dance track.
Yeah.
But it totally did sound like a dance track, the way he played it. And it's just a really great example of what a fantastic DJ
It's a fantastic
can do.
track, yeah. Great, let's hear some of this.
I want a man that means everything he say, and not a boy full of play, pulling rabbits out of his hat every day. Ooh, baby, I'm scared of you. I don't believe in magic. I believe in love everlasting. I can't understand that Houdini was a great magician. He could crack a lock. Oh, yes, he could.
Okay, I think I know what the album's called. It's called Love Wars.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's called Love Wars.
I've got that album. So then the last track is one that you would love to play out, but have never found the right setting yet.
Okay, so I have actually played this out one or two times, but when I was resident at Fabric, I was given this track by Black Cat. The track is by DJ Sneaker versus Black Cat, and it's called Twitching. And twitching is slang word in Britain for bird watchers.
Yes.
And Mark Bell from Black Cat is a bit of a bird watcher.
Okay.
And him, Sneak, had never heard of this word twitching, so he became a bit obsessed with it, which is, if you listen to the track, it actually almost sounds like there's lots of birds twittering about on the
yeah.
track. It's quite an abstract record.
Yeah, it definitely
It
is.
doesn't do much, and it sort of meanders about, but it is a record that, because it's quite odd, doesn't always work.
When I listened to it, I was quite surprised because I was waiting for the bass to kick in because DJ Sneak, and I was like, oh, it doesn't. It just doesn't throughout the whole thing. Let's hear some of this. So you can obviously hear the bass, but it feels like it's going to build. But
Yeah.
it doesn't.
It doesn't, no.
Doesn't want to disturb the birds in the bushes.
Yeah, it just feels like a track that's sort of strolling around without actually ever really knowing where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's sort of, it's kind of why I like it. It's quite an unorthodox record.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in and telling us your stories around the tracks that you've brought in. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the mix.
Thank you.
Every night that you've been gone, I've lit a candle. There must be 99 around my bed, around
gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right. Touch me, baby, show me, baby, how you feel. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is real. I say kiss me, baby, love me, baby, hold me tight. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right. Touch me, baby, show me, baby, how you feel. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is real. I'm looking through a fog inside my mind. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Wanting to be near you all the time. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Asking when emotion takes control. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Fighting off desires in my soul. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Kiss me, baby, love me, baby, hold me tight. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right. Touch me, baby, show me, baby, how you feel. You gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is real. I say kiss me, baby, love me, baby, hold me tight. Gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is right. Touch me, baby, show me, baby, how you feel. Gotta know me, gotta show me that your love is real. Wonder why you're acting like a child. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. To wonder like a thing lost in the wild. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Dreams of bodies moving forth and dance. Oh, is it real? No, it's love. Seeking one who's daring, take a chance. Oh, is it real? No, it's love.
great magician. He could crack the lock, oh yes he could, from any position. But my heart is nothing like those locks, and your formula's not my brand of stock. Like Little Red Riding Hood, you're the fox. Oh, and baby, I'm scared of you. I don't believe in magic. I believe in love everlasting. I don't believe in magic. I believe in love everlasting. Don't go pulling no rabbits out your hat. It'll be all out war combat. Baby, now I can't go for that. I can't understand that, baby. No, no, I can't understand that. You ain't no Houdini,
Oh, I know I ain't.
and I can't understand that, baby.
Oh, like Rudolph Valentino, I can fall down on my knees, pull flowers out my sleeve. Girl, I know you will be pleased. I
I
wonder.
can't understand that, baby. I can't understand that.
Look, I can pull flowers out my hat, do a disappearing act, come back on you so strong. Girl, I really turn your loving on. I
I
wonder.
can't understand that, baby. I can't understand that. I need a man,
I'm available.
mean everything he say. Don't need a boy full of games and tricks every day. I can't understand that, baby. No, no, I can't understand that.
Baby, let me groove ya.
I need a little more.
Baby, let me soothe ya.
Oh, oh, baby, I need a little more.
Baby, let me hold ya.
Oh, oh, baby, I need a little more.
Baby, let me squeeze ya.
Oh, child, I need a little more.
Baby, what you want?
Oh, I need a little more. Oh, baby, I need a little more.
Baby, let me hold ya.
Baby, I need a little more.
Don't wanna control ya.
Oh, no, baby, I need a little more.
Baby, what you want?
Oh, baby, give me plenty good loving.
Baby, let me kiss ya.
Oh, no, baby, I need a little love.
Baby, let me hold ya.
Baby, I need a little more.
I wanna just squeeze ya.
Oh, baby, I need a
So thanks to Bill Brewster for bringing in the tracks and the stories that make up his DJ journey so far. And thank you to you for listening. Please join us again for another episode of Q Drops, My DJ Story. This has been a Cabbage and Bubble co-production.